Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars: The Old Republic. The Relics of the Gree event is a limited-time, week-long event that happens roughly once a month or every 2 months in Star Wars: The Old Republic. During the event, you can explore Ilum's western ice shelf to uncover the Gray Secant, an enormous ancient Gree starship. Your goal is to gain Gree Reputation, which will allow you to buy the rewards, and Gray Helix Components, which are the currency used to pay for some of the rewards, both of which are earned by completing the limited-time Gree quests. The biggest rewards are the fan-favorite Gray Helix weapons, which have a very cool effect, the glowing Scalene armor, the cool spear mounts, and a ton of decorations for your Stronghold. To start the event while it's live, the introduction quest is located near the northern elevator of the Fleet Republic side and near the southern elevator Imperial side. Just look for a giant floating blue quest terminal. If you use your Fleet Pass ability to get to the fleet, it will be located just down the stairs from where you load in. If you're level 50 or higher, after you watch the cutscene, you'll receive a short quest called the Gree Experiment that leads you to the event on Ilum that will reward you with a reputation item. If you're under level 50, you can still watch the news coverage cutscene, but you won't be able to participate in the event or pick up any event quests. If this is not your first time to the event, and you've already unlocked the Gray Secant, instead of flying to Ilum with your ship, go into your activities panel, which you can get by clicking the icon of 3 little people near your minimap. Click the solo tab, then find the activity on the list called Event, Relics of the Gree, and then click the green travel button. Not only will this get you to the event quickly, but it will also give you an extra weekly quest that will reward you with a purple Gree Reputation item and 2 Gray Helix Components. If that activity doesn't show up for you, for example it's your first time doing the Gree event, fly to Ilum with your ship, then take the speeder to the western ice shelf far to the left of the map. Once you arrive, there's a quest giver you can speak to finish up the introductory quest. There are 5 quests to pick up there from a nearby terminal when you start. 1 heroic quest, 3 daily quests, and 2 PvP area quests. The 3 daily quests are very easy. Defeat wildlife, pirates, and droids, and you'll be rewarded with reputation points. The PvP quests are a bit trickier, but just to clarify, you do not need to directly fight other players to complete these quests. Instead, you'll need to go into an area where players are automatically marked as enemies to other players, so you'll probably be attacked while you're out there. One important thing to know about these quests is that if you're in a PvE instance where other players cannot attack you, you will not be able to see the objectives. To make them available, you'll need to open your map and change your instance in the bottom right to one that says PvP. After you finish with the event, or finish with the PvP quests, you may want to switch back. The fastest way to get to the PvP area is to take the teleporter in the main base to the southern terminus. Note, you can't switch instances inside the center area of the map, the PvP area, so make sure to switch before you use the teleporter. And you can quick travel back to the main base if you want to switch back to a PvE instance after you're done. To do the Charge the Pylon quest, you'll need to collect orbs from pylons around the contested area and deposit them in the center. This is where you're most vulnerable. If you're having trouble with other players attacking you, you can always try a different instance on your map if there's another PvP one available, or come back at a different time, maybe late at night or early in the morning, or join a group and work together. The other PvP data quest has you defeat droids, scan military vehicles, and then defeat a strong enemy in the center of the contested area, though sometimes you can find it wandering around on the far southern area of the map. Many players like to skip the PvP quests as they are not ones that reward with the event currency, and they also are not part of the weekly. They do, however, give you reputation. The heroic quest is quite difficult, and you might want to try and find a group to complete it. It's one of the few quests that will reward you with special Gray Helix component currency. You'll need to find a pylon, activate the pylon multiple times, and defeat each wave of enemies. You'll often see players putting together groups in general chat, and you'll want to watch out for that to get a group to join. Heads up, the pylons in the PvP area are weaker, but you run the risk of other players attacking you as they're only available in the PvP instances, much like the other PvP quests. As you do Gree mission dailies, you'll level up your reputation rank, and your goal will be to eventually reach newcomer rank, which will take about 3 days or 3 characters worth of dailies. Once you reach newcomer rank, you'll be able to buy a special item from a nearby vendor called authorization, Gray Secant, which you can then right-click in your inventory once you left the vendor. This will cause 2 new quests to appear on the mission terminal. The first quest is a daily Gray Secant testing quest that will send you inside of the Gray Secant ship and defeat a defense droid in a unique mode of combat. I won't spoil it for you. The second quest is a one-time quest per character to defeat the event operation boss called Xeno Analyst. That one's called Unity Examination. Once again, the quest to fight the Xeno Analyst is a one-time quest. Using that special authorization item will also make the event Relics of the Gree weekly become available through your activities tab, and I highly recommend picking it up right away. If you're trying to get to the Gray Secant from the platform where the event starts on, the easiest way is to take the nearby teleporter to the northern terminus, which will put you just a little south of the entrance. Make sure to go in from the left Imperial side or the right Republic side, otherwise the floating partitioner droids will attack you. Inside the Gray Secant, about halfway in, you'll find a quest giver for the one-time quest per character called the Ancient Gree Relays that will actually send you around the galaxy and reward you with 2 Gray Helix Components, a unique Gree droid pet, and a purple reputation item. This is a fun explorational quest that can only be completed during the event. So that's all the quests. If you need a list of the quests with their rewards, objectives, and reputation rewards, look in the link in the description of this video. Reputation is a way of gaining favor with different groups by completing quests for them. As you level up your reputation rank, more rewards for that reputation track become available. By using multiple characters, you won't be limited to how many Gree quests you run, or to how many Gray Helix components you earn, which are the reward currency for the event, but you will still be gated by how many reputation points you can earn. You can only earn a hard limit of 12,000 Gree reputation points in a week. This time gating mechanism means you'll only be able to earn up to the newcomer rank the first week you run the event. If you earn over 12,000 reputation points in a week, then keep doing reputation quests and completing Gree dailies. Instead of getting more reputation points, you'll get reputation items, which can be consumed from your inventory in future weeks, so if you get any of these items, just hold on to them until the weekly timer resets. The Gree event vendor can be found in the Cartel Bazaar section of the fleet, even after the event, so you'll be able to spend your Gray Helix Components currency even after the event ends. You can see your reputation by pressing Y on your keyboard or hover over the symbol of a person on the menu. You can hover over the Gree Enclave name on the list to see how close you are to the next rank, and how many reputation points you have left remaining that you can earn during this week. You get green and blue reputation items from the dailies, and purple reputation items from the heroic, the world bosses, Xeno Analyst, the one-time Ancient Gree Relays, and the weekly. The last quest the Gray Secant authorization unlocks is the one-time quest to defeat the Xeno Analyst operations boss, which will reward you with 2 Gray Helix components. I have a completely separate video that details everything you need to know about the Xeno Analyst, including how to fight it in story mode and veteran mode, as well as how to get there. There are also 2 special world bosses available to fight that are only available during the event, hidden in caves in the northern part of the western ice shelf. The first time you enter one of these caves, you'll also automatically be given a quest called Area Combat Specimen to defeat the 3 large bosses in the area, the Xeno Analyst Operation boss and the 2 hidden world bosses Surgok and Gravak, that require a large group to fight. The quest itself does not have any good rewards, but the 2 world bosses both drop a purple reputation item, so they're worth doing if you see a group being put together in general chat. Both bosses technically have a tank swap mechanic, but many players just ignore it. For Surgok, the giant worm, there's a debuff that needs to be cleansed or healed through, and some additional enemies the group will need to dispatch. For Gravak, the giant wampa, watch out for the red circles so you don't get hit by icicles falling from the ceiling, and make sure to stay behind him so you don't get hit by his claws. In addition to the quests available, there's also a ton of lore objects and achievements related to this event. My favorite lore object is hidden far to the south, a memorial in dedication to the area's previous purpose as a large open world PvP area, but you'll also want to pick one up in the Gray Secant and run from the Tombar pirates in the north. My favorite achievement is called Junior Research Project, which will send you across the galaxy to collect data while you have the miniature Gray Secant pet out, which you can only get once you're legend rank, and it costs 50,000 credits. This achievement is time-consuming, but does not need to be completed during the Gree event, unlike pretty much every other thing in this guide. If you love the Gree event and run it often, the Gray Perpendicular achievement will send you out to defeat each of the world bosses 10 times, defeat 1,000 Gree droids on Ilum, and complete the Junior Research Project achievement. If you manage to do all that, you'll be rewarded with the Gray Perpendicular Legacy title. There's also a lot of player versus player achievements. There's one to defeat 10 players by exploding with orb explosions, another to defeat 50 players carrying orbs, one to defeat 100 Imperial players while playing a Republic character, and one to defeat 100 Republic players while playing on an Imperial character. If you complete both the orb ones and defeat 100 imps, you'll get the blue Octagon Legacy title. And if you complete the orb ones and defeat 100 pubs, you'll get the red Octagon Legacy title. While not an achievement, there's also a rare pet that you can only get during the event as a rare drop. The L1L Defender pet can drop from 2 enemies. The first is the Ancient Gree Destroyer, which can be found in the center of the map, and a second is wandering around in the southern part of the map along the main pass, but they only show up in the PvP instances, so you are at risk of being attacked by other players if you go searching for it. The Ancient Gree Destroyer has a rare chance of dropping the red Gree droid pet, but occasionally, instead of the Ancient Gree Destroyer spawning, an Ancient Gree Defender droid will spawn in its place and has a very high chance of dropping the pet. Now let's talk about the rewards. You'll need a combination of 2 things to get them: the correct reputation rank and the correct number of credits or Gray Helix components, depending on the reward. If you need to work on your reputation rank, almost any of the Gree quests will reward reputation points. If you need Gray Helix components, it's a lot harder. You can only get them from the Heroic, which gives you 1. Completing the one-time Unity Assessment quest to defeat the Xeno-Analyst, which gives you 2. Defeating the Xeno-Analyst Operation boss, which gives you 4 to 8 depending on the difficulty mode. The one-time per character Ancient Gree Relays quest, which sends you across the galaxy and gives you 2. And lastly, there's the weekly you can pick up from the activities panel if you have unlocked the Gray Secant, which also rewards you with 2. That means each week, if you did the Heroic quest every day and completed the weekly, you could earn 9 Gray Helix components per week per character. If you also did Xeno-Analyst, you could also earn a lot more, as you can run the Xeno-Analyst boss on story mode and technically hard mode once per day. Don't forget that for both reputation and components, you can run the Gree quests once per day per character, so you can do the quest on your main character every day over the course of the event, or you can run it multiple times a day on different characters. The glowing Gree armors and pets only require reputation and credits, while the weapons cost Gray Helix components and champion reputation. And the decorations cost different amounts of components. So if you're going after the weapons or decorations, you'll really want to work on getting into operation groups and fight the Xeno-Analyst to get those Gray Helix components. So here's some of my favorite things from the event that you can get: the Blue Sphere, which costs 48 Gray Helix components, the Cyan Sphere, which also costs 48 Gray Helix components. Both of these are mounts, and this one you can also use snow-covered parcels from Life Day to pay for part of it. The Red Sphere, which I'm super jealous of another player having, which is a rare drop from Xeno-Analyst. Miniature Gray Secant, which is a little droid pet that follows you around. Gree Data Core, which is another pet. There's the 2 rare pets that you can earn through an achievement, enter a rare drop. The super cool Gray Helix weapons, and I'd love to cover these more in depth in another video, and just a ton of decorations. Oh, and don't forget the Scalene armor, which is legacy bound. Looks really cool. There's 3 different versions. There's black and blue, black and red, and white and aqua. If you want to see a full list of those rewards, the reputation rank you need, what they cost, and screenshots of them, please take a look at the link in the description of this video for the written guide. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Gree event. It's probably one of my favorite events in the game, and I've played it so much that I've reached that legendary rank with the Gree Enclave. I would love to hear in the comments below if the Gree event is something you guys are interested in, if you're trying to go after any of the weapons, or if you're like me and have already reached legendary and gotten all the rewards you wanted. One of the few things I've still got left to do is the adorable miniature Gray Secant quest where you go across the galaxy, as well as defeat both of the world bosses 10 times. I've been about halfway there. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the perfect bisector be with you.